3 words. Samuel motherfucking Jackson. That's all you need. When it comes to style, there's no styling over the man who coined that term with his birth. A renowned fan of anime himself, Jackson joined the project by Studio Gonzo in voicing a samurai who wanders for revenge. Afro Samurai premiered after 3 years in the making in the US in January of 2007 and in Japan that following May, both runs in English. And honestly, that's probably the review itself. Sam Jackson and Gonzo. It's a match made in bloody heaven. No. Not that Gonzo. Maybe that Gonzo. Anyways, it's a stylistic, smooth, and epic combination that really needs no further explanation. But what explanation you do get of the show is one of high praise, sharp observation, and a roaring good time. At least, for me anyway. Afro is a samurai, the son of a former #1 fighter who now wanders in search of the legendary headband held by his father's murderer, Justice. In this journey, he's accompanied by the wisecracking ninja, and slays any man who tries to take his own headband. On the road of revenge and merciless bloodshed, only one thing will end. Justice falls or it doesn't. The show is short with only a 5-episode run, but it uses its time wisely. Every moment is never wasted, there's a purpose to them. The atmosphere of every scene is felt, whether subtle or poignant, and you completely eat it up because of the intensity of the mood you get from Afro and his lack of happiness. From fighting the bear man to Afro's connection to the caretaker, the tragedy and harsh reality of what Afro does and how it affects him is comparable to the philosophy of the entire ordeal being his fault and has nowhere to turn back. You really feel for this guy, but you also have to keep in mind of all the killing he's done to ultimately achieve his goal. While there's all bad guys, there is this dormant feeling whether if he can stop, or if the blood he shed could ever be cleaned. After all, the finish line isn't a noble goal, nor is the idea of the whole system a fair one in the first place. So it does play with Afro's status as protag closer to an anti-hero rather than straight up good guy. The animation is outstanding in how stylish it is. The shading and the cinematography take a mix of a feudal Japanese look combined with modern Western techniques, blending the two looks in a mesmerizing and identifiable embrace. The way the wind is wonky, but goddamn does it look good while being wonky. I think the fact that this is a samurai show helps to have the quiet, intense moments so animated. Like there's nothing else worth looking at except for the samurai himself. And the more things get going in the picture, the more stakes are raised. Let's talk about performance, because the acting is part of that experience, even more so than some shows this month. Samuel L. Jackson is a wonderfully downplayed Afro, more calm and quieter than his usual roles, but brings his impact more effectively than some of his characters. There's just something cool about a guy who won't raise his voice and lets his actions do the talking for him. Ron Perlman as Justice is delightfully evil. Having that grainy, sinister voice evokes so much raw power and might behind it. He's nothing short of entertaining. If I really had to nitpick, it's that the message is so obvious. Revenge equals bad. There's nothing really subtle about it either. Afro straight up says it's a tale of revenge. But on the bright side, it's still delivered with high regards, showing both how Afro's journey is consuming him and he's controlling it simultaneously. It's a rather interesting take on handling your demons. But I'm sorry, there's nothing to really straight on hate about this anime. SLJ is cool, the animation is gorgeous, the story, while not the greatest, is still treated with poise and dignity, and the atmosphere is so well set and tense that you can cut it with a sword. Even with Ninja being a dumbass, you don't lose focus on Afro's mindset or journey. Overall, Afro Samurai is intense, flashy, and sharp. It's not really a twist in the revenge story, but it doesn't try to be. It's just a stylized samurai's tale with heavy influence from the West and the East, with the talented people who you know loved working on it. For as short as it is, it's definitely worth taking a stab at.